finished walking our bikes up a giant hill, 5 kilometers to go to Roebuck. Neither of us have had anything to eat, so I got no energy. Not feeling too great. Welcome to the Kimberley, one of the last great wildernesses in the Australian outback. Larger than 75% of the world's countries, this vast and ancient land has been home to Indigenous Australians for over 50,000 years. Far from civilization, it's a place of extremes, where the harsh, desert-like dry season scorches the earth with relentless 40-degree heat, and water becomes a rare and precious resource. This unforgiving region is also home to some of the world's deadliest creatures, from prehistoric saltwater crocodiles to the highly venomous king brown snake. Before we dive into this adventure, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I'm Alex, but my mates call me Gooch. I'm an ordinary bloke who answered the call to adventure by quitting my 9-to-5 job to chase the dream of becoming an adventure filmmaker. This is my first attempt at making an adventure film, which means stepping into the unknown to face my deep-seated fear of failure. Without any training or experience, I jumped at the chance to cycle across the Australian outback with my mate Steve, who's circumnavigating the entire country on his bike. From the sunbaked savannas of Kununurra to the shores of Broome on the Indian Ocean, I have 15 days to pedal over 1,000 kilometres to catch my flight home. I set out to test whether I have what it takes to become an adventure filmmaker. What I didn't realise was I was risking far more than just a career. So Stephen and I have been robbed. This is my worst nightmare. Cameras, drone, laptop, everything gone. Everything except this GoPro. My first adventure film, and it's a catastrophic failure on day one. The weight of this disaster sinks in, and the anxiety starts to spiral, sending my stress levels through the roof. We'd woken up at 4:30 to get ready and beat the sunrise. And someone's waltzed into our room while we're both sleeping. Stolen all our shit. After around half an hour of overwhelming panic, we find all our stuff dumped behind the motel. We're so remote that the thieves can't even offload the electronics. They're more of a burden than a prize. A tidal wave of relief comes crashing over me. My dream almost ended before it began. So this is all our stuff. So I'm guessing some kids have jumped the fence, walked into our room.
It was 2 o'clock I got up from piss, I think. And the door was open, and I'm like, Alex left the door open. So I shut it, because the door's a bit loose. And I went back to bed, and I woke up at 4 o'clock this morning, I'm like, I don't have a shower. And I'm like, where are my clothes? And I'm like, where are the bags with my clothes in it?
Kununurra is a beautiful, tight-knit town, but like many remote towns around Australia, it has its problems. There is an undeniable tension between the Indigenous and non-Indigenous community. Common issues include drug and alcohol abuse, domestic violence, burglary and vandalism, while the absence of social and economic opportunities often leads to youth roaming the streets, turning to petty crime.
That one night you forget to lock the door, or that tiny little bit of complacency where you wouldn't normally lock it at home and you forget, and they'll come and they will just tear you to pieces. So unfortunately it happens very often here.
Now we just got to reassess and figure out what we're going to do from here. That's the plan. Steve and I are riding to Doon Station, which is 110 kilometers south of here. So it's going to be extremely hot.
When was the last time you rode in 38-degree heat?
Never.
Cool, today's going to be a fun one.
As we leave the safety of the motel, I feel a distinct pang of both fear and excitement course through my veins. There's no turning back now. 70 k's in, day one. I am not doing too good. I think I might either have heat stroke or, I don't know, I'm just dehydrated, or I don't know what it is. The Kimberley region lies in a tropical monsoon climate with two distinct seasons, wet and dry. We're at the tail end of the dry season, where rain is scarce, humidity is stifling, and the heat makes you feel like you're cycling in an oven, while swarms of flies invade your ears, eyes and mouth. Probably ridden at this point about 90 kilometres. Today, my first day. I'm really hurt. I'm hurting deep. The sun is searing. There's no shade. Just when I think I can't go any further, a shirtless, dreadlocked angel from heaven appears with cold water.
Hey, brother.
It's common for people who live in harsh, remote environments to stop and offer assistance any way they can. A small act of kindness goes a long way out here.
Yeah.
Man, you're fucking nuts, for sure.
Thank you, brother. Take care of yourself.
See how long they wait?
You're a legend, mate.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Dizzy and fatigued, heat exhaustion takes hold as Steve and I push our bikes up an endless hill that stretches on forever. It's like living inside an MC Escher drawing. My legs turn to jelly and self-doubt creeps into the back of my mind with its insidious whispering, telling me I can't make it. The heat is sweltering. I can't even think straight. Why? Why do I do this to myself? We've made it, but only just. I'm relieved and proud, but also wary of the fact that this is just day one of a 15-day journey. It has only just begun. I want to be excited, but I'm struggling to take it all in. I'm really exhausted. So happy. Proud of myself. We got another 90 plus K ride tomorrow, so that's going to be interesting.
$3:30 a.m. About to start packing the bike. I'm exhausted. My body's beat up. I don't know how I'm gonna do today. I don't know how I got myself into this shit.
The scorching heat from midday to early afternoon means Steve and I have to start riding well before sunrise to cover as much distance as we can before it gets too hot. Rule number 1, find shade and rest during the hottest hours of the day. Road trains are a common sight out here. Built to haul massive loads across vast, remote stretches, these beasts can be over 50 metres long and weigh more than 100 tonnes. If one of these hits us, it'll be like a fly hitting a car windscreen. Rule number 2, get the hell out of the way when you hear road trains coming. We found shelter at a roadside stop that will protect us from the sun. It's just too hot to keep going. We don't know how long we'll be stuck here, or if we'll be able to get moving before sunset. I'm on the home stretch, but I couldn't feel further away from the finish line. The thought of giving up swirls around my mind as I will myself forward by swearing, complaining, and groaning. Just when it felt like this day was never going to end, we arrive at our next stop, Warman Roadhouse. I feel relieved, but the arduous ride has taken a physical and mental toll. Just arrived in Warman Roadhouse. That's 91 kilometres for day 2, and I am cooked. I'm a bit dizzy, my ass hurts, I'm sunburnt, my mouth is a desert. God, it's good to be here. Flies are attacking me from everywhere. Now I've got to spend the next few hours reviewing and downloading footage, charging camera gear, and getting ready for tomorrow. There won't be any time to rest. I guess I better get used to it. Warman is a small indigenous community with fewer than 400 people. It's known for its vibrant art scene of modern Aboriginal paintings from the local Geeja people. Filming in indigenous communities is restricted, so I'll stick to the Roadhouse. 12:30 in the afternoon. It is at peak hotness. It's brutal out there. Stephen had meetings till midday, so we had to start later today. We're hoping we can stay at the caravan park in the Bungle Bungles, but we're not sure if they've got room. We can't contact them by phone. So we're just going to ride through this brutal heat all afternoon and see what happens. We have to camp, we camp. I'm not even worried about that at the moment. I'm just terrified I'm going to spontaneously combust in this heat. We've got about 5 hours to travel 56 kilometres to the Bungle Bungle Caravan Park before it closes. Failing to make it in time means camping out in the wild, exposed to the greatest hits of Australia's deadliest creatures. Rule number 3, check your boots for spiders and swimming holes for crocodiles. The Bungle Bungles are beehive-shaped rock formations rising dramatically from the arid plains, sculpted over 350 million years by wind and water. It's a bit doom and gloom on the bikes at the moment. The mood on the bike is very solemn. Delirium starts to set in. The flies, headwinds and hills are driving me insane. I need a break. I need something, anything to keep me going.
Easy cooler anyway.
Oh, thank you. This guy was driving past with his family and decided to turn around to see if we needed help, giving us morale-boosting cold water and fruit.
You'll get to breathe and you go, oh mate, that was great.
Thank you. Thanks for stopping.
No worries,
Appreciate
man.
it. Thank you very much.
Yeah. What's it?
We got 9 minutes to make it to the caravan park before it closes. Otherwise we're camping somewhere out here in the wilderness. We've got about 1.5 kilometres to go, but the last kilometre's on a dirt track, so I don't know what that's going to look like. 8 minutes. All right. We're on the home stretch, but my muscles are cramping. I don't know how much further I can go. So we just got to the caravan park and it closed 11 days ago.
Everything that could go wrong could possibly go wrong.
What we didn't know was the caravan park closes during the wet season due to heavy rainfall and flooding. The caretakers kindly invite us in to rest and top up our water supplies so we have enough for an overnight camp in the wild. So we rode 56 kilometres. We made it here 1 minute before closing. to the caravan park. And the caravan park closed 11 days ago.
You want a beer?
Alright. Some true Aussie hospitality. Nothing better than an ice cold beer after a long day's ride.
There you go. Cheers. I call this the travel gods looking after me. Yeah.
That's the only way you're going to make it.
Yeah, it's
if you
fucking
need water.
crazy.
I couldn't believe it. That's masochistic.
As day turns to night, we realise we need to get back to the highway to find a place to camp. Riding at night is infinitely more dangerous. Low visibility means road trains could easily hit us without even noticing, offering us the same fate as the dead cows that litter the highway. After riding another few hours, we reluctantly decide to camp on the side of the road in this rough, prickly brush. We need to be extra careful as snakes are more active during the cooler hours and visibility is low in this wild scrub. I've only slept a handful of hours. Had a real rough sleep last night. Look, this is how close we are to the road. Pretty rough. Another 75 kilometers today. We both feel horrific. Beautiful sunrise behind me though. I smell fucking disgusting. It's 77 kilometers to the town of Halls Creek. With temperatures set to soar above 40 degrees and our water supply running extremely low, it's tough to envisage anything but absolute disaster for the day ahead. Rule number 3, never ever run out of water. The heat is sweltering. I can't even think straight. We're starting to run low on water. We need to find a solution soon. I'm jumping through the barbed wire fence because we've run out of water and it's cooking out here. We've spotted a bore water tank. In the Australian Outback, these tanks are essential for survival due to the limited water supply. Bore water is pumped from deep underground where it's naturally stored in layers of rock and soil. This water is used for livestock and crops and is not always safe for human consumption. We treat it with water purification tablets before drinking. So I've just realised that I've broken a spoke. There's a real one at the back here. If I lose another one, that's going to be a real problem because there's no bike shops between here and Broome. So, pushing my bike up a hill. I don't know how much longer I can do this for. I like to push myself, find where my boundaries are, find where my limits are. Sometimes it's just too much.
I actually just need water, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm not as tired as I think I am. I'm just sunstroke, heat stroke, sunstroke, whatever you want to call it. Dehydrated.
2-stroke, 4-stroke.
All of it. Backstroke.
Yeah.
He's literally turned up and ridden 400 Ks in 4 days, effectively. These are the days that make or break you, my friend.
feel shattered. My brain's all fuzzy, my legs are shot, I've got chafe. I'm really, really cooked.
We have got 150 clicks to ride today, which is going to be my biggest ride by far. 100 kilometers on our first day was my biggest ride ever. But yeah, there's definitely a nervous anticipation for what is to come today. Water's the biggest problem out here, and we're anticipating that we will run out of water. Climbing this hill for the better part of 2-3 hours. My ass hurts, my legs hurt, my palms hurt. The flies are driving me absolutely mad. After traveling over 100 kilometers and on the brink of collapse, we decide to take a break. I'm physically and mentally shattered. Now, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Steve and I are 140 kilometers into our 155 kilometer ride. Yeah, I don't know, I can't even think straight anymore. We finally make it to Larrawa Station, a working cattle station situated halfway between the towns of Halls Creek and Fitzroy Crossing.
I'll just show you the room, you guys.
Yeah, Larrawa Station is closed to travellers between November and March due to monsoonal rains and flooding. Lucky for us, we arrived just a few days before it shuts down for the wet season. Alright, looks like we're staying at Larrawa Station tonight.
In a bed.
In a bed. And air conditioning. Woo!
Even have a coffee in it.
Oh, coffee, tea,
Bed, aircon,
shower. Oh.
Cook our own food, but we're already planning to do that. Quality. Welcome to Steve's kitchen. Some sort of pasta sauce with tinned corned beef, a can of tomatoes, and some peas and spices.
Feeling pretty tired. Tired, ass hurts, legs hurt, flies are driving me absolutely nuts. It's gonna be 40 degrees in Fitzroy Crossing later, so it's gonna be pretty intense.
I had no flies on me so you came over here. You're the problem.
We have another 150 kilometres ahead of us to get to the town of Fitzroy Crossing. Right now, with saddle sores, tired legs and depleted energy stores, pedalling another 150 kilometres is a daunting task. I'm running on empty. I'm hurting, pushing up a hill, The sun is pounding down on my back. It's brutal out here. I'm hungry. And flies landing all over me. I can't go much further. Obeying rule number 1, we pull into a rest stop to wait out the hottest part of the day, which means filling our bellies and playing the waiting game. A cool afternoon breeze arrives as the sun falls behind the horizon. It's time to hit the road and push for Fitzroy Crossing, which means pedalling late into the night. Times like this afternoon that make it all worth it. It is absolutely spectacular out here. I can hear the birds singing. This doesn't get much better than this. We hit a hill which forces us to walk our bikes. This hill could stretch on for kilometres, so we decided to set up a roadside camp and get some rest so we can make a charge for Fitzroy Crossing in the morning.
.30 a.m. here. We're packing up our sad little roadside camp. I mean, it did its job. Our biggest problem at the moment is that we don't actually have enough water to get us to Fitzroy Crossing. And it's going to be 41 today. A pleasant 41. Just a warm, relaxing 41.
Steve and I soak up the sunrise and fuel ourselves while discussing the solution for our rapidly disappearing water supply. I only had a handful of hours sleep, covered in a thick layer of sweat and sunscreen. I'm hurting. The minutes stretch into hours, kilometre after kilometre, with the landscape blending into endless repetition. My thoughts mirror the wild terrain, drifting from grandiose dreams of success to old anxieties in the blink of an eye. But I'm never bored. Out here, there's so much time to think, to dream, to ponder. have a water tank at 12 o'clock. And just like that, we have water. Something I'm learning on this adventure is that when you confront your fears and take a leap of faith, things have a way of working out. It's as if the universe recognizes your efforts and wants to help you succeed. Woo! Alex and Steven's Botank Adventures! Botank! Ah. Woo! We finally have Fitzroy Crossing in our sights. It's hard to imagine that only months after cycling through here, Tropical Cyclone Ellie caused record-breaking floods that devastated this area, destroying this iconic bridge. Entire communities were isolated, livestock swept away, and the recovery is still ongoing.
I'm gonna do 150 kilometers today. Don't know how I'm feeling about it. I'm physically and mentally exhausted. I really don't know how much more my body can take today. We'll soon find out.
Being on the road at this time in the morning is spectacular. The sunrise was something else. Hues of orange, pink and purple. It was incredible.
I'll be coming back through today, mate. I'll get some water at Fitzroy. I'll drop a mob of water at
Just drop us off
out of Derby.
wherever you see
Out of
us.
Fitzroy.
Yeah, wherever you see us, just drop it.
Yeah. No, you won't be fucking far. I'm just going to pick another truck up. So
Yeah.
I'll call in, see you, and then we work out. I'll drop bloody water 40k ahead of you or something.
Yeah. Unreal.
Righto.
Ah,
Take
cool.
care.
Thank you, mate.
See you later on.
My gears are starting to go. They're starting to jump and shift, and I don't sound healthy. So I'm missing a spoke on my back wheel, and my gears are starting to deteriorate. Because if my gears completely break down, I'm stuffed. There's literally no way to get the bike fixed out here. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. And to be honest, I don't have a plan B. It's hot as hell. It's mid-afternoon. We punched out about 100 kilometers this morning with only a couple stops, and now we're stopping every 10 k's. Steve and I are both exhausted. We haven't really slept properly. Our bodies haven't recovered. We're really running low on water. We will run out by tomorrow morning.
Got ice, we can cool it down and put it in your bottles if you want.
Fucking hell, you bloody legend.
Even a fucking cold orange.
Unreal. favourite things about self-powered journeys is the fascinating and wonderful people you meet along the way who want to help you achieve your goal. We don't know where Lockie is from or where he's going, but he helped us more than he'll ever know. Thanks, mate. Bloody legend.
Doors just held on with a bit of rope.
That's outrageous. I'm starting to get a little woozy. Things are just starting to get a little fuzzy. When I close my eyes, I'm seeing all sorts of psychedelic colours. It's a pretty fun place. Yeah, 12 hours of cycling with only a few stops in between can send you a bit nuts. Especially if the stretch of highway looks the same the whole way. You're inside someone's joke or dream when you're in a never-ending loop. You're never actually getting anywhere.
We're both in a state of delirium, but grateful to have reached our camp beneath a massive boab tree. Lockie has been here, leaving us a care package of water and oranges in the hollow of the tree. It's an act of kindness that Steve and I won't soon forget.
Half of this in ice.
Yes.
He said, I'll drop the rest off at the tree for you.
Thought it would have been inside.
Yeah, I thought it would be. Thank you so much. Cheers.
That last 10Ks, I was starting to get like woozy. Like I was like having these like little micro sleeps and
Yeah, that's what I felt like this morning.
Oh man.
I just kept like, my body was like, you need to go to sleep. And I'm like, no, I'm awake. I'm riding a push bike.
Yeah. That's the realest hearing thing.
This boab is a spectacular example of this iconic tree that you'll find scattered across the Kimberley landscape. With its swollen trunk and twisted branches, it stores water to survive the dry season and can live for thousands of years. Our next stop is only 74 kilometres, so fatigue isn't the enemy today. I've got bigger problems. I have 2 missing spokes and the gears on my cheap bike are starting to fall apart.
It'd be an absolute miracle if my bike holds together at this point. Miracle. Absolute miracle if it makes it to Broome. The gears are shot, so they jump and skip and move all over the place, and I feel like any second that it's gonna fall apart.
As we close in on Willair Roadhouse, I can feel this journey nearing its end. I think I'm going to miss the long, scorching days and the endless road unrolling ahead of me. Out here, immersed in nature and disconnected from modern technology, time slows down. It's a rare chance to think, reflect, and dream without distractions. Our last planned stop before Broome. I'm thankful for this little oasis, a drop of life in the vast expanse that stretches in every direction. It's 157 kilometres to Broome, our final push, all or nothing. If we make it, it's potentially the beginning of a career as an adventure filmmaker. If I fail, then it's back to the drawing board. I don't know if either me or my bike has 157 kilometres left. We could both fall apart at any moment.
Absolutely brutal morning on the bike. Been slowly climbing 100 metres vertical for hours.
Steve and I are beyond exhausted. We've been climbing a hill into strong headwinds since we left this morning, and the heat is, well, let's just say I feel like a hunk of clay in a kiln. Noodles, shade and rest is the plan for the next few hours. I'm trying anything and everything to stop the flies attacking my ears, nose, eyes and mouth. I'm barely hanging on. We pedal on into the dark, legs shaking, sit bones bruised and mentally drained. The finish line is so close, but it couldn't feel further away.
Sounds like a big ass truck. So we're pretty much cooked and we've had enough, so we've called it. We're camping here. Whoo! Broken bodies, mentally exhausted. I don't know whether I'm excited or terrified.
70 kilometres to Broome. It feels surreal to be this close to the finish line, so close to achieving the first step of my dream. But there's a strange bittersweetness to it all. I'm eager to reach the end, but part of me will miss the challenge, the suffering, the feeling of waking up to the sound of birds and the breeze sailing over the savannah. I'll miss the camaraderie with Steve, and I'll miss the people who helped along the way. But most of all, I'll miss the silence, the solitude, the time to think, the time to grow.
Steve and I have just finished walking our bikes up a giant hill, 5 kilometers to go to Roebuck. Neither of us have had anything to eat, so I got no energy, not feeling too great. Anyway, only 5 kilometers to Roebuck and then 30 odd kilometers to go to Broome, the finish line. pushing my bike up a hill. This is horrible. Broken spoke. Only a few hours sleep during the night on the side of the road. I'm cooked. Anyway, I think I'm just using this video diary as an opportunity to keep my mind off the road. Still a long way to go before I get to the top of the hill.
Stumbling along like a newborn giraffe as my physically exhausted legs buckle underneath me. This is it, the final stretch. I can almost see the finish line. As I charge toward the Indian Ocean, I feel an overwhelming sense of pride. By answering my call to adventure and chasing the dream of becoming an adventure filmmaker, I learned a powerful truth. That when you follow your calling, face your fears, and step into the unknown, the universe will conspire to help you reach your goals. Obstacles become important life lessons, and moments of despair turn into triumphs that will live with you forever. Shooting my first adventure film is just the beginning. It's only going to get harder from here. I still have no discernible career path, my finances look grim, and the future remains a mystery. But I've discovered that when you take a leap and fully commit to your calling, unforeseen forces align in your favour, helping you learn, grow, and live a more fulfilling life than you ever imagined. And for now, that's all that matters. See you on the next one.